everybody. Thanks for joining me for another one-man review. I just got this in the mail, Reptile House Comics issue number 11. This is an anthology. I've never got a previous Reptile House anthology, but I was checking out some of their other books, and this was the only one that was still in stock, so I wasn't able to go back and get the other ones. But really been into all of these self-published underground kind of anthologies lately. There's always a mixed bag of things that I really don't like and things that I really do like, artists to follow up on. So I'm really enjoying that. I'm sure that's always been part of the comics culture. I just never had the money and the time to spend to go look into it. So I'm really excited about it now. The only thing that bummed me out about this is I got a feeling that a lot of these stories were continuations. Not a lot of the stories in here made sense to me. It seemed like they were continuations of stuff that had happened in previous issues. And since those are out of stock, it was kind of a bummer. And it does put a bit of a damper on my desire to go get another issue of this. But the production of it really has me intrigued. Especially, there's a couple on the cover. There's like this pearlescent paper that they've used, and then there's this another pearlescent paper piece, this calendar that they put in the middle with this kind of really grody, disgusting, like busty reptile chick on it. But it's the Reptile House 2023 calendar, and it's on this really, really cool, like metallic paper, kind of pearlescent metallic paper. So I really like seeing in these people that are doing these small run things that people are taking more risks. Things are more expensive, different materials, and I really like that. So we'll just go through here and take a look at the different artists. They don't have the names with each story, so I'll probably have to flip back and forth to make sure the artist gets credit. But Justin Edmonds does this first story. And it's, like I said, some of them had a hard time sticking because I felt like they were part of something larger. Like this Christine Larson. I love Christine Larson's work. She was one of the reasons I was like, okay, if she's in there, then I'm going to buy it because that's a certain type of quality that I know that they're interested in. So I'm going to buy that. But it's like a 2-page thing, and I really get the sense it's part of something bigger, something that might have existed in previous issues. I also don't know. Yeah, okay, so this is Kelly Campanile, who's just doing this illustration. That was another thing that made it a little hard, is there's some of them are illustrations or these like funny ads here. Hooked on hoagies? When you should be hooked on phonics, get the accent eliminator. And I don't know if that's also by Kelly Campanile or if that's Rebecca Kirby. No, this must be Rebecca Kirby. So it's a little hard to tell that kind of stuff. I think this is Rebecca Kirby here. Someone else that I've seen on Instagram who I like quite a bit. Really like her work in color. Black and white's not quite as interesting. Just like a flash art tattoo page, it looks like. So I'm assuming that's by Shitty Style, but they're not signing it either, so I don't really know. Inking would be Rob Woods. This piece here I love. This is Roger Binion, I believe, is how you pronounce that. I already looked up Roger on Instagram. I've seen that he was selling a print of this that was in color that's bigger. That was awesome, but I really love this page. I think this is a really, really cool piece. I don't know what it all adds up to, but it's really cool. It's kind of a strange, like with this little diagram down here, and you've obviously got this guy flying around on a briefcase, and you know, there's repetitions here, but I'm not quite sure what they all add up to. You have death and a coffin. I think it's just the little piece about, like, you know, life in general, the struggle of life, the great river of fuck you, maybe, smoking the death weed. It's cool. It's open to interpretation. This one here would be by Elliot Beck. I don't want to give away all the pages. This is another one of these. Oh, this is by Mantech. Well, I don't know. So I'm assuming this is Rachel Gallo. And then this last one here would be Nick Bunch. Oh, ads by Low Level and NB. Okay. So these are by Low Level and NB. And this is by Nick Bunch. I really like the art in this one. Again, it says right here that this is a continuation from Reptile House 10. This one actually says it. So I had a hard time with the story, but I really like the art. It's really kind of punk and gross. but it, you know, in a controlled way where it feels intentional. So I like that quite a bit. But yeah, I would really like to get better context on these. It's hard to get invested though when I can't get the old ones, and so it's kind of like I don't know if I really want the new ones. Maybe some of these will be collected at some point. But it's a cool book, and I'm tempted to keep getting them just because pieces like this, you know, this is something I'll be looking at and trying to pick apart a little bit more. There's a lot going on in here, and it's like I said, it's exposing me to artists. Well, some artists like Christine Larson I already know, but people like this artist here and Nick Bunch in the back, Roger Bignon here. It's good to get exposure to them. So I might keep buying it just for that. But it was a little hard because I feel like I'm coming in late in the middle. You know, issue 11's pretty late in something. So cool little book. Maybe you go get yourself a copy. Maybe not, depending on how you feel about jumping in on things in the middle and searching for back issues and stuff like that. But a really, really cool product. I enjoyed it. So thanks for following along. If you enjoy what we're doing here on the channel, the best ways to support us are through Patreon. That helps us buy all these books. All the money on Patreon goes back into buying comics. So you're kind of investing in these creators more than us, I guess. And then the most important thing is supporting what Sean's doing with Living the Line Publishing. So we'll go ahead and take a look at some of the books that you can purchase now. Issue 4 of The Abolition of Man is a one-off story called Maria's Story. It exists within the greater world of the Hotech series that we built up, but it's a one-off story, and probably the most disgusting, terrifying, frightening comic book I have ever seen. Part of why that is we had this both written and illustrated by an AI. So we had one AI that generated the story, all the descriptions and the text, and then another, we used Midjourney to illustrate it. And it's terrifying. It's seriously terrifying. This is basically a story of abuse and sex slavery that the AI came up with. So quite possibly the most grotesque comic of all time, and definitely the most frightening thing I've ever read. Centralia is an awesome, gorgeous comic by rising Dutch star Miel van de Peet. This is his first work. It's a really great sci-fi story. There's a world in the future where the sun has gotten so hot that people can't be on the ground, so they have to run around. There's a lot of conceits that go with that. You know, what is the world that looks like? And I think you can see by the art that Sean's description of this book as like a Moebius for young adults, a YA Moebius, is a really great description of this really gorgeous and like wild, wacky, fun book. Thanks for following along. Take it away, Jack.
You want to see all these books? Smash that subscribe button and the like button and the bell, and then you get them.